Legend has it, ladies and gents, that once upon a time, Pyrotoz had a team where he used Garbodor, Mischievous, Vileplume, all these other critters all together, and the match is so old that I genuinely can't remember playing this game. It might not even be me, I don't know. But looking at the nicknames, I would hope it's me. I think my best ever nickname of any Pokemon is in this particular game here. He's Garbodor there. Looking at you, boy. We'll get to him sooner or later. I don't really think he does much this game, but honestly, the main reason I wanted to use this gameplay is just so I could get a thumbnail where there's a picture of Garbodor wearing a sombrero, and that made me laugh, so I thought, yes, that will be the gameplay I use. First turn, I'm going to go for a taunt just to prevent him going for rocks. It looks to be, I didn't really realise it at the time, but it's a very hazard-based team. He has, you know, this to set up spikes, he has his Cordilli for stealth rocks, and I think he has something for toxic spikes as well. I can't remember his team layout, but I'm gonna go for a Will-O-Wisp. I am a max speed, max HP kind of thing here, and it's just kind of a anti-lead, taunting, anti-shenanigans kind of thing. It works really well, surprisingly. And I think on this particular set, oh sorry, by the way, the sound on some of these parts where I speed it up, this is kind of past selves not thinking ahead and not speeding up parts before adding the music, so, you know, it's going to sound a bit weird whenever I speed up parts extra fast, but hope it's not too much of a problem. I think that might be the actual only bit in the timeline, yes. Okay, we're good. Go back to Mischievous, because whatever he brings in, Mischievous is the guy I want to be out there, or girl in this case. But in any case, I'm not really too worried about what a Golduck can do to an Eevee like Mischievous, so I'm going to go for Shadow Ball just for damage. I figure there's nothing I'd rather send in now. He goes for Psyshock, that does a decent amount, I guess. I don't know if Mischievous naturally has higher defense or special defense, but I'm not invested in either. It's just HP, and as you can see, the Hydro Pump does quite a bit more. That's fine, I do still outspeed somehow. I don't really know how. I think they might have the same base speed, so I guess I'm timid nature and he must be modest, but now he goes to his own Mischievous, and I am going to go to Chatot to take the Shadow Ball. Now, I assume he predicts my Encore here because he goes out to his Cradilly, and, well, what can Mischievous do to Chatot anyway, right? But he probably did predict that, goes to his Cradilly, which was a good play. Now, unfortunately, Chatot can't really do too much to Cradilly, as you'll see a bit later on in definitely one of my least profitable endeavours in Pokemon so far. Now he goes for Toxic, poisons my poor Shrew-Man-Chew. And Shrew-Man-Chew, he's been in my teams ever since the start. Look at this. This game is probably like, what, 9 months old or something ridiculous? And Shrew-Man-Chew is still here, kicking it, keeping it real, knocking off them Eviolites for days. Now, of course, what I really wanted to do was go for a Rapid Spin, but unfortunately, I can't in this situation, and oh no, he doesn't have Toxic Spikes. I think he just has Spikes and Stealth Rock, but yeah, now he goes for Calm Mind, and unfortunately I don't have Destiny Bond on this particular Mischievous. For some reason I had Memento instead, so I thought, okay, may as well do it. That's kind of the best I can do in this situation. If I'd have predicted right, I would have gone to Chatot here first, but I kind of figured he might have the T-Bolt, and if he did, he would have gone for it then. But I predict the switch here, go for a nasty plot as he brings in Cradilly once again. And like I said in my previous battle, Chatot, I like Chatot. Chatot's a cool guy. One of the best kind of flying special attackers. Unfortunately, it does have a pretty limited move pool. And this was before the Black and White 2 move tutors, so I don't know if it got anything decent from the move tutors, but if it did, it's definitely missing out on it here. All I have is Heat Wave and Hyper Voice, and that's really not going to do too much to a Cradilly. You can see a +2 Heat Wave does a respectable amount, I guess, but here I do predict the Recover, and I go for a Nasty Plot. Now next turn I can Encore him into it, and then proceed to go for another Nasty Plot, I think, to get up to +6. Now I'm not really too worried, because I know that Chatot does actually outspeed everything on his team. Somehow, like, I don't know how that's happened. I guess there's no Choice Scarfers on his team, although I think he does have priority, which we'll see later on. But regardless, I get it to +6, go for a Heat Wave, that huge +6 Heat Wave, and no, that's not gonna take down Cradilly. Chatot, you let me down. That's unfortunate, but I think I might remake this Chatot set. I think I might give it, like, get rid of Nasty Plot, but give it Roost instead. And that kind of, you know, extend its longevity, but whatever. All in the past. Go into Vileplume here. Now, Vileplume is definitely going to be the star player of the game. Elbindito is definitely going to take the, you know, the thumbnail spot, which is usually reserved for the star player of the game, but Vileplume, yeah, he's definitely the star player here. So I'll go for a Giga Drain. That's going to do a decent amount to the Mischievous, I guess. Probably more than I expected, but then again, it is an offensive set. Now I switch out, go into my Simipour, kind of thinking, okay, he'll probably go for Calm Mind, or maybe Pain Split, I don't know. And to be honest, I don't want to be in that battle against a Mischievous setting up on me. Now, he goes into his Gardevoir to take my Hydro Pump, which would be a logical play, my friends, but I'm in fact a physical Simipour with Acrobatics. I don't know why, I thought it was a good idea at the time, and it turns out in this situation it was. And let me tell you, Simipour with Acrobatics, I've actually OHKO'd a... I think it was an Amoonguss from full health. Probably specially defensive, but even so, OHKOing an Amoonguss with a Simipour is nothing to, you know, shake your head at. Pretty damn good. So I take out the Gardevoir, that's great. Now in comes the Arbok, and unfortunately it turns out he is the Intimidate set. And had I kept my Mischievous, that would have been great. I mean, Mischievous almost perfectly counters Arbok. Resists its stab, it can burn it with the Will-O-Wisp. It's immune to Earthquake, which it tends to carry quite often, and it's not going to get hit by Sucker Punch if you're going for Will-O-Wisp. So that's fine. Now it turns out he does predict my switch here, goes for a Dragon Tail. I tried bringing out my Elbindito, but alas, not going to happen now. Now I stay in here with Shrew-Manchu, and this is the bulk of Sandshrew, my friends. I predict him to stay in and try and kill off Shrew-Manchu because everyone wants to kill Shrew-Manchu. Kill Tentacle, I don't care about him. He's Death Fodder. Leave Shrew-Manchu alone. But I get it for Rapid Spin, get rid of all them hazards, and that is great. Now, for some reason, I go for a Rock Blast, even though I should have probably known that would have done nothing. I'll tell you why, because this Garbodor here, Elbindito, wildest trash bag in the West, shooting, slinging them guns, throwing gunk at their faces and exploding all over the place. I do have the explosion, my friends, and I did predict Sucker Punch on the first turn, which is why I go for a layer of spikes. But now I try and go for explosion, hoping he will try and go for Earthquake. But no, don't get off explosion, and it was a normal gem boosted one, so I don't know if it would have killed, but it would have done a decent amount of damage nonetheless. Now I just go for Waterfall, get some decent-ish damage on the Arbok, and you know, it's not looking good. Simipour is definitely not the kind of guy I want to leave in against the Arbok. But the reason I'm staying in here is just because I want a little bit more damage. I want to get a bit more damage off, and then I'm safe to bring in my next Pokemon, which is Vileplume, just to try and finish him off. Go for another Waterfall, bring him down to the red, and I kind of figure on this turn he's probably going to want a Sucker Punch, take out my Simipour, which is why, my friends, I go into Vileplume. Now, Vileplume, he knows what he's got to do. He knows his destiny. Maybe he is a lion! Goes for Glare, paralyzes Vileplume. Vileplume doesn't care. Go for a Sludge Bomb. That is going to almost take out the Arbok. But because of Simipour's valiant efforts, I can now go for another Sludge Bomb, and that is going to take him out. Yes, one down. It's Vileplume versus the world. Can he beat Mischievous and whatever else he's got left? Cradily, Ampharos, I forget, who cares. Go for a Giga Drain, almost take out the Mischievous, and I'm just about taking these hits because it is a specially defensive Vileplume. Now the problem is, can I take out the Cradily before he takes me out? He probably has Ancient Power, or I think it was HP Rock he showed earlier, but yeah, it's basically a Steel War. Can Vileplume beat the Cradily? Two bulky grass types, 1v1, who will emerge victorious? It's a very slow thing, which is why I've sped it up and added this music, but the end result is Vileplume successfully manages to make my opponent run. I guess he knew that I had sleep on my side and was doing a bit more damage, so yeah, that's how it turned out. Bit anticlimactic at the end, but yeah, El Bandito and his band of merry thieves leading their way to victory once again. I don't know why I even came up with this team, but it was a fun match, so hope you all enjoyed. And with that being said, I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.